As part of this topic, let's understand how to deal with Unix timestamp in Spark. Unix timestamp is nothing but an integer and started from January 1st, 1970 midnight UTC. Beginning time is also known as epoch and is incremented by 1 every second. We can convert Unix timestamp to regular date or timestamp and vice versa. We have functions for both. With respect to converting regular time to Unix timestamp, we can use Unix underscore timestamp function. As part of the call to this function, we should be passing the standard date or timestamp, and it will take care of converting it to Unix timestamp. We can use from underscore Unix time to convert Unix timestamp to regular date or timestamp. For example, this will take care of converting Unix based timestamp to regular date or time. We can also pass format to both the functions so that we get the information the way we are looking for. Let's create this Spark session object. Once it is created, we will be creating a data frame by name date times df. Before creating this data frame, let's take care of creating this list. Date times is of type list. It contains 4 records. Each record is of type tuple. Each tuple contains 3 attributes. One is date in numeric format, then date in string format, it is standard date, then timestamp in string format, it is standard time. Using this list, we should be able to create the data frame by specifying the columns like this. This data frame contains 3 columns. One is date ID, second one is date, and the third one is time. You can preview the data in data frame by running this piece of code. You can see the output here. We have 3 fields, date ID, date and time, and you can see the data. Now let's get Unix timestamp for date ID, date and time. Let's import both Unix underscore timestamp as well as call functions. Now with respect to converting date ID to Unix time, first we have to interpret using a specific format so that it can be converted to Unix timestamp. The format is nothing but YYYMMDD. One more thing you need to keep in mind is date ID is of type integer. When you actually use functions such as Unix underscore timestamp, it expects dates to be of type string. As it is not of type string, I am using cast and typecasting the date ID to string. Then I am passing the second argument where I have specified the format using which the date should be interpreted. This will take care of getting the Unix timestamp for these dates which are of type integer. Now with respect to date, even though it is in standard format, Unix timestamp expects the format of the time to be in this format. If you just have date, then just specifying a date to convert the date to Unix timestamp doesn't suffice. You have to specify the format as well. That's why even though date is of type string and also it contains dates in standard format, still we have to specify the format like this. Otherwise it will not work. Let's remove this. In this case I am removing the format only. Let's run this. You will see Unix underscore date to be nulls. Rest of the stuff will work as expected, but Unix underscore date contain nulls. The reason is even though date is in standard date format, still we have to specify the format using which the dates are supposed to be interpreted, because Unix underscore timestamp look for either standard time or you have to specify the format. Now let me undo this. Let me run this. This time it will work without any issue. With respect to time, as long as you have time using standard format, which is nothing but YYYY hyphen MM hyphen DD, then space, then HH, then colon, then MM, then colon, then SS, then dot, then capital S, capital S, capital S. As long as the time is using that format, you can directly pass time like this and it will work. In case if the format is not like this, then you have to specify the format as second argument. This is how you should be able to convert date or time to Unix timestamp using Unix timestamp function. Now let's create a data frame by name Unix times df using one column. The column name is nothing but Unix time. It have 4 values. These are nothing but Unix timestamps. Using these Unix timestamps, we want to convert to standard date or time. Let's see how it can be taken care by using appropriate function. First, let me create this list. Using this list, let me create the data frame. Data frame name is nothing but Unix times df. You can preview the data. It contains one field. The field name is nothing but Unix time, and these are the integers it contains. If you want to preview the schema, you can say print schema here to make sure that you preview the data type as well. The data type is nothing but long because it's a big number. That's why it have used long as the data type. Now using this data frame, let's understand how we can leverage from underscore Unix time to convert this Unix time into standard date or time. If you just want to convert to standard time, you just have to pass the integer like this. You don't need to specify the format. However, if you want to get the date or time using specific format, you have to pass second argument like this. So this will take care of returning the date using YYYMMDD format. This will take care of returning the time using standard time format. Let's run this and we should be able to see the output. Before running this piece of code, we need to run this first. Let me run this so that from underscore Unix time is imported. Now I should be able to run this to actually see the conversion from Unix time to regular date or time. You can see the output here. If you do not specify the format like this, it might have all zeros with respect to dates. If at all, this have only date part without any timestamp. However, this Unix time is not just the date part, it also contains time. That's why if you do not specify the second argument, it will just give you the time like this. There is no milliseconds in this, it only gives up to the seconds, and you can see the output here. This is how you should be able to use functions to convert regular time to Unix timestamp and vice versa. We have covered two functions. One is Unix underscore timestamp, second one is from underscore Unix time. Unix underscore timestamp converts regular time to Unix time. From underscore Unix time converts Unix time to regular date or time.